To begin with, Putin probably received security guarantees from China for his visit to Mongolia, at least according to the American edition of Bloomberg. Let me remind you that it became known a little earlier that Putin's visit is scheduled for September 3rd, and it will be the first visit of the Kremlin leader to a country that is a member of the international criminal justice system after that. An arrest warrant was issued for the Russian dictator in March 2023 for the abduction of Ukrainian children. According to the Rome Statute, Mongolia must execute an arrest warrant for Putin if he appears on its territory. But, as the American publication Bloomberg writes again, citing experts close to the topic, they suggest that Putin could have received assurances that he will not be arrested in Mongolia under a warrant from the International Criminal Court, a country that has ratified the Rome Statute. The visit of the Russian leader will take place only 6 months after the first Mongolian judge to serve on the International Criminal Court resigned from his position on the court. And it all looks very satirical, of course. The president of the country welcomed this event as proof of Mongolia's growing reputation and strengthening status in the international arena. Russia intends to build a new gas pipeline, Power of Siberia 2, through Mongolia to China. Some experts believe that Putin is going to Mongolia, again, as I said, under the guarantee of China's security. In fact, it all looks very satirical. A representative of Mongolia holds a seat in the International Criminal Court, while at the same time Mongolia seems to be going to not comply with the warrant. The Kremlin also publicly stated that there would be no problems during the visit, as Putin's mouth said, Peskov. All aspects of the visit have been thoroughly prepared, and there is a great dialogue with our friends, with Mongolia, Peskov said. But of course, Mongolia, as a signatory to the Rome Statute governing the International Criminal Court, is obliged to execute the warrant and arrest Putin if he appears on its territory. Bloomberg noted that officials from the country's presidential administration, the Prime Minister, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs did not immediately respond to requests for comment on the Russian dictator's visit. But the day before, on Friday, the Mongolian Ministry of Foreign Affairs held a meeting with representatives of numerous foreign embassies, where they explained that Putin's visit was formally connected to the celebration of the 85th anniversary of the 1939 Battle of Kholgol against Japanese troops. Well, it is clear that this is only a formal reason or pretext for Putin's visit. Our Ministry of Foreign Affairs immediately reacted and reminded the Mongols who Putin is. The Ukrainian Foreign Ministry said it hoped that the Mongolian government would realize that the Russian dictator is a war criminal. His arrest on suspicion of illegal forced transfer of Ukrainian children to the Russian Federation. The warrant was issued by an international criminal court whose jurisdiction is recognized by Mongolia. The abduction of Ukrainian children is one of the many crimes for which Putin and the Russian military and political leadership must face justice. These individuals are guilty of an aggressive war against Ukraine, atrocities against the Ukrainian people, murder, rape, robbery, shelling of civilian infrastructure, and genocide. We call on the Mongolian authorities to execute the binding international arrest warrant and transfer Putin to the International Criminal Court in The Hague. The International Criminal Court itself also reacted. The ICC spokesperson, Fadi El Abdallah, said that the Mongolian authorities, in accordance with their obligations, should arrest the Russian dictator if he visits the country next week. The court relies on its member states, including Mongolia. Mongolia, like other states parties to the Rome Statute, is obliged to cooperate. Which may take any measures it deems appropriate. The International Criminal Court issued an arrest warrant for Putin, accusing him of illegally deporting children from Ukraine. Brazil, like more than 120 other countries that have ratified the Rome Statute, must comply with its decisions, including on arrest warrants for war crime suspects. Putin has repeatedly missed international meetings and canceled trips abroad. For example, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov attended the BRICS summit in Johannesburg on August 22nd to 24th instead, while Putin himself attended only remotely. The decision was due to the fact that South Africa signed the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court. In addition, Putin did not attend the G20 summit, which took place from September 9th to 10 in the Indian capital of Delhi. But now it looks like at least some experts say that it was China that could really provide certain security guarantees, and Mongolia, which is a country that is quite dependent on China and cannot resist it, even though it is not. That they would not want to spoil relations with the United States. But nevertheless, China's influence is quite strong, and given the potential construction of the Power of Siberia 2 gas pipeline, which runs from China to Russia right through Mongolia, it is obvious that this could be one of the key topics of the meeting. And it is also important for Beijing that this visit of the Russian dictator to Mongolia does take place. So far, China has given certain guarantees to the Russian dictator and influenced the Mongolian authorities not to arrest Putin under the ICC while he is still in the country.